Hi! Today we have the pleasure to introduce you to the new American track pack. And for this, we came back where it all began, in the Autodromo Aci Vallelunga. As you may know, our studio has been hosted for 9 years into this track facility, and Assetto Corsa was born right behind this door. Stefano, are you there?
I can't. Enough with these cars.
Okay. The reason why we decided to come here today is you, the community. To be honest, when we launched Assetto Corsa right here, we never imagined that eventually our fan base would grow to over 5 million people. At the time, at Kunos, we were 12 guys with a ridiculous small budget. So we decided to reproduce those tracks closest to us, starting here in Vallelunga. Through the years, we expanded the track locations from North Europe to South Africa, Asia and Australia. And apart from the iconic Laguna Seca, we never reproduced any other American circuit. Until now. This new pack included 3 of the most loved and appreciated tracks from the United States. We always tried to do our best in creating your favorite driving simulation, but we couldn't make it without your support, suggestion and all the amazing content that you created and shared with us through the years. So, thank you very much for your amazing support. Now, we'll drive you through the first track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Hello racers! Welcome to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the first US banked oval circuit to be called a speedway. Built in 1909, home of the famous Indianapolis 500 IndyCar Series and Brickyard 400 NASCAR Cup Series. The SRO GT3 Series used the combined oval and road course that consists of 14 turns and includes the famous high-speed straight line with the yard of bricks. Now, you might still not be able to bow down and kiss the fabulous yard of bricks, but you will be able to feel the vibrations, noise and emotion as your tires roll over the bricks that are part of the motorsport history. Let's go drive! And here we are through Indianapolis oval straight line, going over the famous Brickyard. For turn 1, we will start our braking zone after the 500 billboard. Very careful to not go over the inside curb. We need to be very patient for turn 2 on the accelerator and full throttle through turn 3. Hard on the brake for turn 4, trying to bring as much momentum as we can in order to take turn 5 flat out and make sure to position our car in the middle of the circuit. Brake and let the car roll through turn 6. It's a double apex and we need to sacrifice the exit in order to get as much traction as possible for turn 7 and through the back straight. We will start braking at the 100 billboard for turn 8. Again, the inside curve is quite high. And we will use as much curve as possible in turn 9 and 10, sacrificing the exit of turn 10 and cut as much as possible for turn 11 in order to accelerate for the whole back straight through turn 12. Heavy braking at the 300 billboard. Again, the inside curve is high. We will position our car to the right and get the best possible line for the penultimate turn. This will permit us to take the last turn flat out, but we need to be careful because with worn out tires and a light car, it's very easy to go into power oversteer and lose a lot of time. And this was a lap on Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Assetto Corsa Competizione.
The production of this pack has been quite challenging due to the limitations in the logistics that have been affected by the pandemic. Just before it started in 2020, we closed a partnership with a studio that designed the Circuit of Americas, and we couldn't make a better choice. So I'm very pleased to introduce you to the Tilke studio.
My name is Carsten Tilke. I'm Managing Director and Partner of the Tilke Company, and here at Tilke we are specialized in designing and developing racetracks. We have realized over 90 racetracks worldwide, out of this 20 Formula One tracks, for example the Circuit of the Americas in Austin. We use Assetto Corsa to allow our engineers and professional racing drivers to test new tracks during the development process. This is why through the years we have also been specializing in 3D modeling for real-time rendering applications, which has different requirements from CAD-based planning and design. By 2020, we've been collaborating with Kuno Simulazioni in the detailed mesh and 3D asset reproduction of the Circuit of the Americas to be integrated in Assetto Corsa Competizione. As a result, this virtual recreation matches perfectly the original homologated design by Tilke to provide an authentic racing experience. Now enjoy the overview of this beautiful track.
Hello everyone, Coach Dave here. We're at Circuit of Americas, also known as COTA, track based in Austin, Texas. And a new track coming to ACC. Awesome, highly technical, 5.4 kilometers, with a lot of undulations, as high as 40 meters in some areas. Also the only track that currently hosts F1 MotoGP and SRO GT3 races, so pretty unique in that sphere as well. But anyway, very technical, so I'm going to give you a short track guide just to point out some areas that you need to look out for to help you learn this new track that's coming to ACC. So we're going to be approaching turn 1, uphill corner, 40 meters as we said, in altitude let's say, and you can brake a little bit later than normal because you can use the gradient to help you stop the car. The key thing though is to, when you get over the crest at the apex, is to make sure that you've got your rotation done as soon as possible, because if you get on the power too early, you're going to understeer off the exit curbs, and you're probably going to get track limits and so on. As you go through here, easy flat through this section, but then we're going to approach super technical high speed area, very similar to Silverstone in its approach. Each corner gradually gets tighter and slower. First corner is high speed, careful track limits through there, braking for the second part, and then braking and downshifting again for the third part, depending on the car you're in. You want to hold it nice and tight for this long right-hander, because it's actually the next left-hander that is more important. So staying to the right, through the right-hander, sacrificing a little bit of speed to make this part easier, because if you go too fast through here, you're going to compromise this next right-hander as well. So the whole of Sector 1 is all about connecting corners and getting the right sequencing. Sequences are the most important part of learning this track, learning how do you compromise one corner for the next. That left-hander there, provided you did the right-hander correctly, should be fairly easy, likely full throttle depending on the car you are in. And then we're going to approach our first hairpin, very good overtaking spot, nice and wide. You can really attack the apex if you're going for the inside move. If you're chasing lap time, nice wide entry. Again, get your rotation done before the apex so that when you get on the power, you reach 100% throttle for this long straight as soon as possible. That's the key thing. We want to get to 100% power as soon as we can, and we can only really do that if the car is pointing as straight as possible. So we've got to do all of our turning work on the entry to the corners, get our rotation done early so we can get to 100% power. Heading down the super long straight, we're going to approach another prime overtaking zone. Keep in mind that this is not actually a hairpin. It's actually a little bit more open than a hairpin, but still very tight. You're going to be braking just before the 100 board and take a nice early apex and get on the power early as well. Use all the track on the exits, then come back to the left as soon as you can and turn and brake quite early into this one, and try your best to hold a tight line. Connect these two right-handers together. Consider that it's one long corner instead of two separate right-handers. And then this part here is also very technical. Very tight left-hander that will surprise you essentially in how tight it is. And depending on the car that you have, if you have an understeering car, you want to take a nice tight line and really get the steering engaged as soon as you can. And if you have an oversteering car, you're going to take a much more wider open approach. So lots of line options in that left-hander, which is going to promote good racing as well. Lots of overtaking opportunities. This long right here, high speed right-hander, just got to hold it as tight as you can. If you get on the power too early through this long sequence, you're probably going to run wide and it's going to compromise this next section here, which is a high speed left-hander. Brake early so you can pick out your apex pretty soon, and then it will also allow you to get on the power. If you go through there too fast, you're going to delay the point at which you can get on the power, and you're probably going to run wide as well. You don't want to do that. For the final turn, we can brake slightly off track, but just be wary of the track limits. Use as much track as you can to open up the entry. It's actually quite a fast corner through here, and the only thing you have to worry about on the exit are those sausage curbs. If you're precise around this racetrack, and if you spend your time learning the reference points as best you can, you're going to be really quick, and you'll benefit from the best lap times compared to your peers. So there you go, that's a track guide of the new Circuit of Americas, which has just come to ACC. This is Coach Dave. Catch you on the next lap. Peace.
Watkins Glen? Hello sim racers and welcome to the Glen. Watkins Glen International is located in the southwest of Watkins Glen in New York. The 2nd of October in the 1948 is remembered as the day they stopped the train. What? The race course was over a busy railroad and the train needed to be stopped for the duration of the race. This is crazy. At village permits, state permits, spectators viewing area, a lot of work was needed even back then in order to make the race happen. But you know guys, motorsport passion has no limits, and so the road course became a proper racing circuit. The long course we are using, also known as the Grand Prix circuit, is 5.4 kilometers long, has 11 turns, and it is very popular among fans and drivers. A proper technical track, which is relatively easy to learn but very hard to master, listen to me. Come on guys, let's go drive! Go full throttle, 5th gear, 200 meter we need to brake and downshift from 5th to 2nd gear. You can exit and you can use a lot of curve. And now we approach the famous American Rouge, I would say, full gas. In 5th gear, 220 kilometers per hour. And finally, there is a spot where you can overtake. We can reach, obviously in 6th gear, the 260 kilometers per hour. It depends obviously by the car. We brake in 300 meter bursts and we need to really hit the curve really hard. In 3rd gear or 4th gear, this is my favorite corner, the long right corner. We stay on 4th gear, really close to the curb on the right, and we use all the exit for full throttle. 5th gear, downshift to 2nd again. Stay really close to the left because the track is really tight in the exits. And once again, one of the most tricky part of the track, we brake in 100 meters for this turn that is really long. We need to stay close again on the right. Please don't try to overtake here. We now approach the most tricky brake zone, I think. 100 meter board will brake, go really later on the apex, and now brake again for this blind left-hander. You can't see the exit, but you need to stay really close on the left because, again, the track is becoming really tight. We're approaching the penultimate corner in 4th gear without touching any part of the pedals, and we go really fast also for the last corner, and this was a lap of the Watkins Glen.
So, here we go. We really hope you enjoyed this new pack made to give you a lot of fun. Not only to our American friends, but also to our worldwide fan base. And thank you again, because all of this wouldn't be possible without you. With your support, we'll continue to do our best to expand and improve the Assetto Corsa experience all over the world. Thanks also to Autodromo Vallelunga to hosting us in the making of this video. That's all folks for now, but this is not a goodbye, just an arrivederci.